Okay, guys, good evening and thanks for joining. So I want us to start. So, and before we do so, please, you need to confirm whether you can hear me. Am I audible? Okay. Thank you guys for your confirmation. So I'll go ahead and share my screen so that we can start without wasting much time. Okay, there we go. And please let me know if my screen is up. Okay. Thank you for confirming the same. So today I want us to look at basic router configuration. It is in line with what, the lab that we did last time. Huh? But basically in this case, now we'll be looking at those things that you need to understand as you do your configurations. Very, very important. That is basic router configuration. So the beauty about these commands is that, they cut across. That is, the same commands you can use to configure a switch also. That's the beauty about these commands. So you just need to practice, understand them, and know how to use them, where and when to use those commands, especially when doing your verification. So that's very, very important. So the main objective that we have is to implement initial settings on a router and end devices. So those initial settings, how do we implement them? Of course, these are the basic settings, like the host name, like the passwords, those are the, basic things that the starters, the beginners, actually, someone maybe who is doing the course for the first time, okay? Someone is totally new, need to understand, okay, this. So those are the main activities that are, line up for this particular session today. So we'll be configuring the interfaces. So mostly the interfaces we're talking about are the ports, also on the routers. Also on the switches, yes, we have the interfaces, but they are software based, like switch virtual interface, SVI. The rest now are just ports, which again cannot be configured with these IP addresses. If you try to find that, you know, to be able to set those fast Ethernet ports, okay, with these addresses, unless it is a switch virtual interface that you are setting up. Again, also, we'll check how to configure our devices, to use the default gateway. Very, very important. Be it our hosts, be it our PCs, be it our, switches. We need to set this. Okay. So, sorry. So, if you look at the basic settings that I'd introduced last time, basically, we said you just need to understand how or to configure the host name using the host name command. and the host name of your choice. How do you set the host name? So host name with the host name of your choice. So have your router. It could be host name space router 1 if that's what you want to use. Host name maybe ICTA router. But remember the naming guideline that we talked about, no spacing. Huh? So if we opt to use, for example, ICTA router, and you have a space, so those will be counted as two different things that actually will again invite errors. So it has to be ICTA dash router, ICTA underscore router. Or if at all you don't want to use such characters, then it is ICTA router without space, okay, without space. So that's the most important thing that I want you to understand. Then how do you secure privilege mode? Yes, okay, I know we did explain about how to secure a privilege mode with the command enable secret, then the password. Enable secret with the password of your choice. So it could be enable secret space ICTA. So in this case, ICTA is the password or your name, okay, and such. So secret in this case automatically encrypts. It does encryption secret, okay? But then you can have enable password, then password. You replace secret with the password. Enable password, ICTA. But the only challenge with that is that it will not encrypt that your password ICTA, unlike secret. So that's also something I want you to take note of. Then also to secure user executive mode, which password did we say is being used to configure the executive user mode? We talked of console password, which will be set line console 0, okay? Then the password, with the password, but remember the login command. Because it's a line password, the login command must be there. Otherwise, you will not be prompted to have a password, failure to put the login command. Okay. Then again, for remote access, you can use protocols, utilities like Telnet, SSH, okay, to do remote access. Yes, very, very important. So when it's come to SSH, okay, so you require some configurations. There are about 7 or 6 steps that we need to follow to set up SSH on this. And I know we have it in our subsequent modules, or if not, at the next level, we actually will be configuring SSH. But as it is now, when you put transport input SSH space telnet, it means both can be used to access the what? The device remotely. So someone can have telnet because that's the permission you have given. So it's advisable not to put telnet. Transport input SSH is enough. But as I've said with the SSH, again, for you to be able to use SSH, you must set it up. You have to configure it. Okay, that I'll explain later. Then you need to encrypt all your plain text password with the command service password encryption. So we say this command basically, encrypt the current and the future passwords. The current and the future password. So it is advisable that before starting anything, you can set it up. So anytime now you're configuring passwords, automatically they'll be encrypted with this. Okay. So service password encryption is a command that will encrypt your passwords. Then don't forget the banner message, very, very important, which actually, will help you when you want to, prosecute someone, especially those people who have the habit of accessing other people's devices without their knowledge. So you can set this to help you, pursue the legal aspect, because it will serve as one of the evidence that you have that this, my device, is a protected device, and any unauthorized access, and such is not permitted within my device. So anyone who is, attempting to access it without my consent, then it's very clear, okay, will, face full force of the law and such. So that's very, very important. Then always don't forget to save your work, okay? So remember that two major files here we're looking at. We have running config file and startup config file. Running config file represent a RAM. So meaning all the configurations from onset, as you start doing your configurations, they are in RAM. And RAM is a volatile memory. So they're supposed to be saved, okay, in NVRAM. So a file contained within NVRAM is what I'm calling startup config file. So when you're copying, okay, running configs to startup config, it means you're copying from RAM to NVRAM. So something that has been saved in NVRAM is there permanently. Even if you reload, still you'll be able to retrieve them back. So it means, therefore, you can only remove them, erase them using a command, erase, space, startup config, meaning you are erasing the content of NVRAM. But anything that is within the RAM, okay, nothing much. By just restarting your device or reloading it, it means everything will be gone, okay, because as you have said, RAM is volatile. So whenever you are practice, make use of those commands as well. So this is a summary of what we covered last time. Those who missed, okay, or those who are following the recordings that we posted, all the recordings are posted within your, groups. So they are there. So in case you joined late, okay, the recordings were already posted there. Maybe someone need to repost it for you, for you to be able to access it there. But everything is within your group. Okay, so this is actually what we did last time. If you remember, even though the part of transport input SSH and telnet I did not cover, but all the rest of these configurations we covered, okay, including the banner message that we had set here. So we did everything. Okay, we did everything as you can see here. But still, I will actually have another lab emphasizing the same, so that at least now it can stick. Okay, using the packet tracer. So remember, packet tracer is one of the simulation tool. Okay, that basically will emphasize that concept of visualization, and you conceptualize what is being done. So the interfaces, yes, we need to configure our interfaces as well. Configure router interfaces. Okay. Now, sometimes, last time, okay, we did not set the description, but, sometimes it is important, especially if you want to, describe a given interface and where it is connecting. It's not a must, it is optional, but it's good, especially if you have several interfaces. Let's say this interface, a given interface connect finance office, or connect, admin office, or connect students lab, or connect depending with the environment where you are. So you can opt to have a description. So it's a good practice, as they're saying here. Okay, so that I know whenever there's a challenge with a given department or a given, let's say, school, then I know which interface is connecting where. Someone maybe who is new and want to check, find out what is happening, can easily identify that one with the description. Then with the text, okay? Connecting router 1. You have specified the route. So connecting router 1. So I know that interface is connecting the router 1. Then you give the IP. Then you give the IP addresses. You give the IP addresses. It could be IPv4 address, yes. It could be IPv6 address, yes. You have to assign these interfaces with the addresses. Then remember, no shutdown command being used to activate these interfaces. By default, we said that these interfaces are in shutdown mode. They are in shutdown mode, okay? So for them to be up, for this interface to be up, then the command no shutdown will be used or issued there for the interfaces to be up. So that's the point. So if you look at that, you can see how they have used the description command, okay, to provide additional information for the G000 interface. So that interface, G000, is the one linking you with the LAN, your LAN, your local area network, okay, here. Where this PC1 is this switch. So this 000 interface connecting this LAN, okay, connecting this LAN here. Then of course with the IP addresses as specified. I know there's also IPv6 address that you need to set. Okay, I'll explain maybe after this. I will look one lab with all this, okay, to see how also you can set these IPv6 addresses that you have been given. But take note of the commands the way they are flowing are there. Okay, so this also applies to R2 G001 here. This port or this interface. Description link to R2. So it means it's connecting R2. This interface connecting R2. So link to R2. Then of course, also you specify the IP addresses. As you can see, this is what I'm calling a dual stack, where you have both IPv4 and IPv6. So it's always good to set a dual stack, because packets, sometimes you might be receiving packets. Okay. Sometimes or someone is saying my screen is not visible. Is it true for everyone, or it's just few cases being reported? Are you guys seeing my screen? Screen is okay. Dennis, Kilonzo, yes. Okay. Felix. Oh, maybe what you need to do. Thank you, Nicholas. And okay, can see majority writers. Okay, Joshua. I see majority are confirming that it is visible. Maybe you can log out then log in again. Huh? Log out then log in again and see how it will behave. Perhaps maybe it's your connectivity. So basically, that's what we need to understand there. Then commands. Okay. Commands are very, very important, especially when you be doing your troubleshooting or you want to check something. Okay. So to verify interface, then various commands will be used. Like you can have show IP interface brief. Mostly applies for the case of IP version 4. Show IP interface brief. So the output, as you can see, will be in a condensed form. Each interfaces with their status, as you can see, with their status. Up, 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 down, down, down. Okay. So it's always good, to practice all this. And by the way, even in your exam, and mostly the certification exams, you get this kind of exhibit being given. Then someone can ask you, engineer so and so was not able to access the ISP, and such. So from the output, what needed to be rectified, and such. That's why you need to practice, and those commands needed to be, okay? Then they can ask you which command was used to display, the kind of output displayed on the screen and such. So mostly they're just more of application questions that you'll be getting there. Someone cannot ask you a direct question, what is, a packet tracer or something. So please need to practice this as well. Then show IPv6 interface brief in case you are dealing with IPv6. So if you have not configured your devices with IPv6 and you have issued the command show IPv6 interface brief, it will be blank. Even if you configure IPv4 and IPv6 is not there, it will not display the content of IPv4, no. Okay, it will be blank. So it's meant for IPv6. Whenever you configure IPv6, show IPv6 interface brief. Even the other one that we did last time, when you want to confirm your routing table for IPv4 and IPv6, show IP root or show IPv6 root. So V6 is what is being added on it in case you are dealing with IPv6. So there are numerous number of commands, numerous commands that you need to use depending with the nature of the problem or whenever doing verification. So these are just a few of those commands which are almost being used on a daily basis in your tasks. Like we have said, show IP interface brief, show IPv6 interface brief, all this, okay, put together will just give you the status of your interface, okay? That is their IP addresses and their current status. That's why, IP is there. So you get the IP address. You get to know the IP address. So you want to confirm, are we on the same network? Why are we not communicating? Same subnet or different subnets? So that's, is the command. With the root, show IP root, show IPv6 root, just to confirm what is entailed within the routing table. What is entailed within the routing table. Okay, but again, this is just part of the RAM. Okay, it's part of the RAM. Show interfaces. You see here, you're not specific. You're not specific with which interface. Sometimes you can be specific. Show interface G000, G001. But if you just say show interfaces, it means all the interfaces, both configured and the one not configured, will be displayed for you. So this one basically gives you all the statistics for these interfaces within your device are there. And again, only display the IP4 addressing information for that. Then show IP interfaces. Again, the word IP is being used, unlike the other one. Show interfaces. So give the IP4 statistic for the interfaces, all of them that you have. Then IPv6 interfaces, again, in case there's some interfaces which have been set, or all of them, even if it's dual stack, you'll be able to see, okay, the one for IPv6 also being displayed. So basically, the commands is what you need. And you don't have to cram this command, by the way. Don't stress yourself by cramming all this command. So it's always advisable anyway, whenever doing your network troubleshooting, to have a working device with you, okay? For a lot of purposes, referencing and what have you. So don't make a mistake of starting cramming all this command. It's a waste of time and energy to start, doing such. So you'll be able to understand them as you move on, no? Are there. And, keep on practicing to be able to have them also at your fingertips. Yes, we can see, as you have said, with the same output are there. Show IP interface brief or IPv6 brief with the status up, 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 down. Sometimes you get administratively down, down, meaning the one which is administratively down, down, it means it's a problem. No, basically, no shutdown command has not been issued. Yes, you have done your configurations, yes, but you did not activate the interface using no shutdown command. That's why it is administratively down, down. Sometimes you can get up, down. So remember, layer 1, layer 2, up, down. Layer 1 is up, layer 2 is down. Down, up, and such. Those are the status mostly that you might come across whenever checking the interfaces are there. With the root, show IP root or show IPv6 root there. Okay. So again, you can see the content of the routing table. The routing table for both IPv4 and IPv6. So basically, you can tell the number of networks that you have within the routing table. So by just looking at it with this one, okay, all are directly attached networks. The cables are directly connected, plugged to these particular routers. That's why C is there, directly connected. There are two of them. Of course, with the link local, the link local has been automatically created out of that C. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing there, as you can see here. Okay, the same thing. So the link local addresses are there. Then again, you see, you want to be very specific with a given interface. I want to know more about this interface G000, G001, because they are ports that we have on our devices. So as you can see, give you statistics for all interfaces. Okay, with the show interfaces command. Show interfaces, okay, G000. So what can we learn from this interface? Okay, so you'll be told there, of course, it is up. It is up. Okay, as you can see. So up, with its, you can see hardware, okay, and the most important, the MAC address of that particular interface. Did you give a description? Yes, link to LAN. Okay, with the address also being specified. The maximum, okay, transmitting unit is 1500 bytes. The bandwidth assigned to it, you can see, also being given, which is 100,000 kilobytes per second. The reliability 255 over 255 with the transmitting load and receiving load, okay, usually is 1 over 255, as you can see. Full duplex, that's the mode, okay. So those are some of the few things that we need to understand, because again, these are common questions usually is, being again set. Okay, so you can get some sort of mishap somewhere, and they want you to rectify. Okay, so sometimes it's a a challenge. Okay, so that's why I'm saying you need to, you need to understand your interfaces and, when they are correctly configured, how do they operate, etc. So it's a matter of just, analyzing the output that you have been given are there. Okay. So same applies with this one, show IP interface. Show IP interface. Okay. Sorry. Just a minute. Show interfaces. G000. This one, IP. Okay. IP being included there. Are there. So you can see even the broadcast address will be captured. Will be captured there. So you just need to understand each of those interfaces and how they are being, interpreted are there. So that's something I know sometimes in the exams, some people, sometimes are not able to interpret, and we just have it there with you. So they want you to, interpret that interface. Then now default gateway on a host. Very, very important, especially when you want to send a packet to a different network. So we know what a router does. Okay. We know what a router does. So it connects you to a different network. So you can see, if you look at this interface, there are two interfaces, G000 and G001. With G000, with the network 192.168.10.0, and the other end 192.168.11.0. So these are two different networks there. So now PC1 and PC2 do not need a default gateway for them to communicate, because we are on the same network, actually. They just communicate. But in case now PC1 is supposed to communicate with PC3 or PC4, default gateway will be required. So that's why we normally try to link our hosts with the router through the default gateway. And that's what they're saying. To reach PC3, PC1 addresses a packet with IP4 address of PC3, but for the packet to its default gateway, because it's the gateway, your way out. So that's the most important thing that we need to understand whenever dealing with this. Same applies to our switches. You need a default gateway on a switch, especially if you want to access a switch which is on a different network. It's not on the same network. The same network, it is on a different network. So a switch must have a default gateway address, okay, configured for you to be able to remotely manage that switch from another network. Let's say you are in Nairobi and a switch that you want to access is in Mombasa. The switch was not set with a default gateway. So there's no way to be able to remotely access that switch unless this command is specified to configure that switch with a default gateway are there. So to be able to access it. It could be even the router's interface of that router being set on a switch as your default gateway. You'll be able to access it, or any other IP address within the same subnet are there. So that's the most important bit. Okay, we're just summarizing actually what we had started last time. So that's the most important thing that I want you to understand up there. So is there before I can, there's a question here I need to respond to. Just a minute. I think someone posted a question or something. Or there were just comments. Let me see. Oh, I can't see. I can't see. Yeah. I think guys were just confirming the audibility and visibility of the screen and the mic. Oh, so none. So I want us to now to emphasize what you have talked about. I want us now to look at this activity together, just to emphasize what we have actually talked about. Okay. So this activity is all about basic, configuration. Basic configuration to understand how to set up. And we have been provided with addressing table. So anything that we need to configure, if not part of the instructions, then we'll be checking. The table to find out, anything that you need. Okay. So they want us to set this. So the main objective, I know the writings are too small. Now they'll be able to. Okay, under option up here, I need to explain what I'm doing. So under options, any packet resource that you have, the one you have installed, you'll be able to see the menu option here. Then you click preferences there. Then in a wizard, a new wizard which pops up, you'll check on font tab. There, you can see there, someone is saying I'm not loud. I don't know whether it's my mic or something. Then now, 14, can maintain 14 font size, apply to see whether I'll be able to increase the size a bit. Okay. So the main objective here is to complete the network documentation, perform basic device configuration on a router and a switch, then verify connectivity and troubleshoot any issues that might be there. So if you go through this scenario, what they're saying is that your network manager is impressed with your performance in your job as a LAN technician. She would like you to demonstrate your ability to configure a router that connects two LANs. So your tasks include configuring basic settings on a router and a switch using the Cisco iOS. Of course, these devices, they are configured using the iOS or programmed rather using the Cisco iOS, the network operating system, which is loaded within the flash memory. So you will also configure IPv6 addresses on network devices and host. You will then verify the configurations by testing end-to-end connectivity. Your goal is to establish connectivity between all devices. Note, the VLAN 1 interfaces on the switches will not be reachable over IPv6. So you have been warned. In this activity, you will configure the RTA router, which is the name of the router actually, as per what you can see here. A switch, okay, that is named ASW2 and the PC hosts. Note, packet tracer will not score some configured values. However, these values are required to accomplish full connectivity in the network. Okay, so I feel that's what we need to take note of. Requirements. Provide the missing information in the addressing table. Okay, some of the information is provided in the packet tracer instructions for your topology. So here they want you to name the router RTA and the second switch ASW2 will not be able to access ASW1 switch. Okay, that's what they're saying. Can we try? Can we click on it? I have to believe it is this one. So you can see it is locked. It is locked. So this is locked. So it's beyond us. We will only be able to configure what we can configure. And by the way, most of those locked devices, if you want to access them, you might find that you might be required to use remote access like Telnet or SSH. Or sometimes you end up using the console cable to access them, depending with the instructions or the tasks that you are doing there. So they want you to name this router RTA, this one here. So it has been labeled, this just for external naming. But how about the configuration? So click on the router, CLI, then press return to get started or enter key. You can see it is not, it is not named yet. So what we need to do here is to enable EN tab key, enter, config T, enter, to move to global mode. So nothing is configured here, including the passwords. So hostname. Now, these names are case sensitive. If you have done some work and you have not been graded, or your percentage is not 100% as expected after you have completed your work, then that means there's something that you have not done right. You need to check. Sometimes it can be as simple as the naming. Instead of RTA in capital letters, you did RTA in small letters. So you'll not be graded for that. Okay. So as you can see here, so completion percentage reads 0 because we're just starting. So they're expecting us by the end of the task activities they want to see 100% here. Okay, just to monitor and check whether you are doing the right thing. Okay, so now in that case, host name is RTA in capital letters as shown up there. Okay, then enter. Okay, I don't know whether there's a mark for that. You can just confirm whether there's a mark for that. Yes, there are 2 marks. Completion percentage is 2. So however the exam might be difficult, huwezi kutoka na 0 because host name at least utakuwa configure. So you'll have your 2 marks to celebrate on your way home there, if the rest will be difficult. Okay, so that's the host name. And the second switch. Okay, data switch, okay. Okay, so we have, you can minimize this, move to the switch. Because the first one is already locked, so nothing to worry about because we were warned. So let's just move to the second switch. And also, okay. Host name is capital A, capital S. Please take note of that. Small w, then dash 2. Okay, so that's that. So expect at least you had 2 marks initially. Now you have your 4 marks, so another 2 marks added. So at least you have something to smile about there. Now, then we're supposed now to configure the passwords. Use Cisco as the user executive password for all lines. So you know the lines I'm talking about. Which lines are these? If you're together, use Cisco as the user executive password for all lines. Which lines are these? Yeah, console and VTY. Thank you. Thank you. Console and VTY. Those are the lines you're supposed to set with that password. So can we just okay, have that? So we have line console 0 password Cisco, then login. Okay, exit line VTY 0 to 4 password Cisco. But they can even just scroll up instead of typing, because already we had it before. So just scroll up, login is there instead of typing. Okay, so you have set that. Okay, you can as well do the same on the router if you want to move concurrently. So you can as well set it on this end, line console 0 password Cisco. Okay, then login. Okay, exit. Then you have line VTY 0. For default, because they have not said the number of virtual lines. So you can just pick the default, there's no problem. For switches, normally they do use the default 0 to 15. Okay, then scroll up, password Cisco, scroll up, log in. Then we can exit that. Okay, so we have done for both the devices, that is switch and router. Then use class as the encrypted privilege executive password class. So enable secret class, okay, on the switch, and also do the same on the router. Okay, exit, then enable secret class. Okay, so you have that. Then encrypt all plain text passwords. Which command? I think I want this to be no, centered. So what is the command? Service password encryptions. Kevin Imugoro, thank you for that. Yeah, so it is service password. Okay, you don't have to type everything. Make use of the tab key. And again, for accuracy, okay, you can just have the tab key are being used there, because there's some commands with hyphen, like you can see password encryptions in between this dash, and maybe when you are typing it you have forgotten to include that one, so automatically it will invite some errors. So that's why I do encourage you guys or students to always use that tab key. Okay. Then configure an appropriate banner. You see the banner message here is not given, so it means you can use anything. So I think it's one kind of maybe configurations that I might find that it's not being graded, but it's still important, or maybe you can just get only a mark for that. It depends. Okay, but don't ignore it. If at all you have been instructed to do so, don't ignore it, because you might lose your 1 mark. Okay, so that you know that 1 mark can make you to fail. Okay, so if the pass mark was maybe, the pass mark was 70, then you miss it by 1, so it's 69. So imagine that's a fail. So don't take chances. So have your banner message. So you know the commands for configuring the banner message. So it is banner MOTD. They have not specified which kind of banner you're configuring. So you can have your hash. Okay. Then no illegal, because you see they have not said which kind of message. So for you, you can just have anything there. It is a message actually. It's a message. So nothing to worry about. Okay, nothing to worry about. I can just highlight this. Okay, then copy, because I want to apply it on a switch as well. It's a router, yes. I want to apply it on a switch. Okay, so here I'm on a global mode. Can just paste. Okay, and enter. So I'm just moving a bit faster by copy pasting as well. Copy pasting. Okay, if it's the same thing, I'll just be copy pasting. Okay, then configure appropriate banner that we have done now. Configure IPv4 and IPv6 addressing for the RTA router according to the addressing table. According to the addressing table. So I need to, scroll up here. And you see, this is actually where we are. So RTA router has G00, G01. Look at these interfaces, huh? Okay, look at those interfaces. So it is, so remember we talked about 2-type interface and a 3-type interface. So here it's very clear. It's a 2-type interface, G00. Okay, so not all will be G000. Okay, so let's follow what they have said. So interface, okay, even though it's not sensitive, so there's no problem. G0/0. Okay. Then here. Okay. So you give the IP address for the interface. And you see, there are two, don't forget, IPv4, the first one, and IPv6. So IP address for the case of IPv4, which is 128.107.20:1, so prefix 24. No, some iOS don't accept prefix 24 for the case of IPv4, but there are some iOS which do. Okay, these ones that we are using, the packet tracers don't. So just convert that 24 to subnet mask, which is now 255.255.255.0. Okay, enter. Then IPv6 address, what do you have? 2001, okay, colon, DB8, colon, DB8 colon A, okay, colon, 1, okay, prefix 64. For the case of IPv6, yes, it do accept the prefix. It do accept the prefix. So that's that. You enter. Then now, don't forget to enable your interfaces. No shutdown. Okay. You have done with the first interface G0/0. Now you're moving to G01. Very simple. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Change that 00 to 1. Okay. Enter. Okay, these are the tricks. If you want to save time, especially within the certification exams, there are things that you don't have to, redo all the time. So you just need to scroll to move a bit faster. Just save your time. Okay. Then scroll up IP address. It is 128. Yeah, 107. Yes, almost the same. Then 30. That one was 20. So this 31. Oh, very good. So I just need to change 20. Yeah. Something again, don't use your mouse or notepad to click. You see the way I've been moving left, right. Use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move through this, or up and arrow key to move up and down. But don't click where you want to type. It will not accept. Huh? So that's another secret. That's another secret up there. Okay. Then enter. Then scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Now I want IPv6. Why is IPv6? Scroll up. Yeah. So is it the same as the previous one? 2001, yes. DB8, yes. This now B. Instead of A, it is B. So I'm doing B. So I just need to replace that with B. Okay, with B. Then enter. Then I'm done with G01. Shut. No shut. No shutdown. Or no shut. So I'm done with the interface as per the instructions. Okay. I'm done with that interface as per the instructions there. So far I have my 50, is it 58 or 68, 58% for just doing those interfaces and those basics that we have done there. So that means you're on the right track. Okay. So again, the next step was to do what? Let me see. Configure IPv4 addressing for the switch. ASW2 switch according to the addressing table. Then configure the default gateway for, again, for the switch. Okay, so that switch is this one here, the one which was not locked. So I just need to move the addressing table. AS, where is that? It is here. Okay, it is here. So this is actually what I'm supposed to set. Okay, so VLAN 1. So just click on this, enter, then interface. So this is switch virtual interface. Is software-based. VLAN, okay, is a switch virtual interface. So int VLAN 1. VLAN 1. Okay, then IP address. It is 128. So this one I cannot scroll up yet because I had not set the IP address before. So I have to just type it first, unless there's another one coming up. That one I'll just scroll up. So 128, 107, colon, 128, 107, colon 30, colon 15, then prefix, they're all prefix 24 here. So there's no subnetting yet, because we have not yet covered subnetting topic. Then, okay, then 255.255.255.0. Okay, then it's the only virtual interface. Yep, for that. Then no shutdown, both accepted are there. Then I think they talked of default gateway, if I'm not wrong. They talked of the default gateway. Did they specify this? So now default gateway, we will just use the one, this one here. For the RTA, which interface? The data interface. Okay, it is G01. G01 is the one linking. Okay, and see if you point G01 is the one linking that switch. So this interface IP address is what also you'll add to this. So, and that is now, so you can see this one for switch one, they had used G00 here, interface IP address 128.107.20.1 as the default gateway for the first switch. So now that means for the second one, this one here, you'll have now 128.107.30.1 being set on this switch. So now this one, for the default gateway, you'll have to move back to global mode. Okay. Then the command is IP default gateway. IP default gateway. Then you take now 128, okay, dot 107 dot 30 dot 1 dot 1. By the way, there's no subnet mask when setting the default gateway. It's just the way it is. Okay, it's just the way it is. You don't put the subnet mask when setting the default gateway because you are not in any interface anyway. You are doing it on a global mode. So you have linked this switch, the router. You have linked this switch to the router. Okay. Now, the next part we need to configure. Did we configure to which point? Yeah, we had configured up to, let me see, configure before addressing. For that one we have done. Configure the default gateway, that we have done. Then document interfaces with descriptions, including the AS switch 2 VLAN 1 interface. Save your configuration. So those interfaces, they want us to set. Okay. So it's very obvious, huh? It's very obvious what you need to do here. So now we can start with the G00 on this end. Then it's linking with switch. This one, ASW-1. That's a description that you can give. Just use the names which are existing. Okay, so we can start that. So you document the interfaces with the descriptions, including, okay, so you can move to this. So the interface, which one was this? G00. I can scroll up. Okay, I can just exit this one. Then int G0/0, enter. Description. Okay. You can say that is G00. So if you look at your topology, G00 here is linked to ASW-1 switch. That's really what we have. Oh, it's locked. I cannot drag this. Okay, this is 1. So that's a description you are giving. Then you can say link to. Now, what will be marked here, if at all it's being graded, is the keyword or the command description, not the wording you have done. Not the wording you have done. So you can say that one, link to A was capital, S was capital, small w, dash 1 for G00. For G00. So that's the descriptions you have given there. So you can do the same. You can do the same copy to G01. G01. Okay. Enter. Paste. Then link to ASW-2. Okay. They have talked of including what here? They talked of, what is it? Including AS2 VLAN 1 interface. here. So the interface. So here, you just need to move to VLAN 1. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up, scroll up to move to the sub interface mode, as you can see. Then description, you can give paste, link to, it is linked to, okay, the VLAN here, of course, here, the VLAN is linked to, okay, this one you can just talk of RTA, okay, so you can remove this and say RTA, which is the router, okay, there. So those are the basic things that they require you to apply there. Then save your configuration. Save your configuration. Why write description twice? So remember, these descriptions are for the interfaces connected on one router. This router has G00 and G01 on the same router. So within that router, one interface G00 is linked to ASW1. The ASW2. Okay. On the switch, it is linked to RTA. I hope it's clear now why they are you to save your confidence. So now, if at all you want to save while on this mode, sub-interface mode, or while on a global mode, remember to use the word do, then with the command for saving. But alternatively, you can just okay, end this. And now I was on the sub-interface mode. I've ended. It means it will take me backward 2 steps. The sub-interface mode, global, then privilege mode, because I've used the end command. I have to use exit, enter, another exit mode. So that's how you can play with those commands, exit and end. So copy, running config, startup config. You are saving it. Okay. Do this for the switch. Exit. Okay. So I've intentionally used the exit command for you to be able to differentiate the use of those commands. So you can see if it's exit, it is twice. If it's end, just once. Okay. Then copy, running config, startup config to save your work. So I've saved that. So the next step after saving, now the hosts, okay? The hosts are partially configured. Complete the IP4 addressing and fully configured the IPv6 addresses according to the addressing table, the hosts, okay? So if you go back to the addressing table up here, you'll be able to see all those hosts from user 01 all the way to user 04, both with IPv4 and IPv6 addresses. Don't forget the default gateway for the hosts that is being used is the link local addresses, as you can see, being assigned for the case of what? IPv6. For the case of IPv6, it is link local addresses. FE80 is a link local address. Any address that starts with the FE80, regardless of what is coming, okay, regardless of what is coming, okay, just a minute, is a link local address. So that's what you need to take note of. So click on user 1 or 01, then desktop, then IP configuration. They have said it is partially configured, meaning they have not configured all the addresses. So as you can see, it's very clear. The part of default gateway has been left out intentionally. Okay. The part of IPv6, as you can see again, okay, not set. So what do you need here? So where is this user 1? So as per the addressing table here, yeah, let me put this one for it to be a bit visible. Now what I need to configure, now let me check again the topology, because I need to have the default gateway, by the way. Okay. User 1, user 2 are on G00. Okay. User 3, user 4 are on G01. So I just need to get the interfaces of this address as their default gateway. Okay, you just need to confirm that. So here it was very clear what we had. So it's just this IP address that I need, because I can see it's the same thing, but I'll change the last one to 1 here, 1, because that's what we had configured. That's what we had configured. Then I'll move to the IPv6 part of the same here and pick. Okay, so they want us, oh, it is here. It is this one here. Sorry, it is this one here. So I just need to pick this with FE80::3 as its default gateway for IPv6. Will I be able to copy paste this? Let me see. Right click on it. Oh yes, copy. Then go back here, paste. But now I need to remove 64, prefix 64. That's not part of prefix 64. Prefix is at this end. Already can see prefix, then just have 64. Okay. Then here I have FE, it was FE80, okay, ::3, ::3. I'm through, yeah, FE80, ::3. I'm through with the first user on G00. So I'm moving to the next user, user 02, still on the same network. Still on the same network. Okay. Desktop, IP configuration. So remember here, it will be the same. Default gateway will be the same because we are on the same interface. Default gateway will be the same. Okay. 20.1. Okay. Then let me see. No, 30.1. Was it? Yeah, 20.1. Yeah, it's okay. 20.1 is the same network, sorry. The same network there because of that interface. Then now I'll move to 02 here, IP6 address. Okay. So I'll copy paste again this, right click, copy, then paste it here. But 64 is not supposed to be there. So remove that prefix 64 and have your 64 at this far end. 64. Then don't forget, this one is FE80 as per the addressing table, then colon 3, colon 3. Yes, so I'm done with user 1 and user 2. So I'm now moving to user 3 and user 4 on G01. Please take note of that, G01. So your G01 is very clear. So desktop IP configuration. Okay. So the default gateway here. Okay, I just need to copy this, paste it here. So it is 30.1. 30.1. Then for the case of IPv6, user 2, no, user 3, sorry. User 3, it is here. It is here. So this is all I need. Copy this. Okay. Then paste it here. Sorry. Did I copy this? Right click, copy. Then here, paste it there. Okay. So I just need to move 64 and put it at the far end where it's supposed to be. Okay. What is the default gateway here? Oh, this one is FE80 colon 1 for the case of user 3 and user 4. Okay. So it is FE80 colon 1. Yes, can it be done dynamically? I can see a post there. Yes, it's possible. It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. But you see, as per the activity that you have, this is the way to go. As per the activity. Okay. But you can set the DHCP. So we'll be coming to that topic as well. We have that ahead of us. We'll be explaining everything. Okay. Then user 4. Yeah, recordings. I do share the recordings. I've shared all the recordings since we started. I believe everyone has these recordings. So now user 4, what was the IP address? Okay, look at user 4. User 4 here. Guys, this is a problem. I don't know whether you have noticed. What have you seen? What have you seen? Yeah, wrong IP address has been set here. This is not our IP address, because if you look at what we have here, okay, and what we have here, they're not the same. They are not the same. So it means, therefore, we need to replace the entire thing. So user 4, it's here. So, okay, then, yep. Then I remove that prefix, of course. Yep. Then, so what will be my default gateway? Okay. Default gateway will be 30.1. Okay. Then, as I wind up, then you have this. Okay, IPv6. IPv6. Post it there, then remove that 64 prefix and have it at the far end, 64. here. Then FE 80 colon 1. Okay. So I'm through with all those configurations. So you can see your marks completion is now 100%. Okay. So now the next thing after you have done so is just do the verification. Verify connectivity between all devices. All devices should be able to ping all other devices with IPv4 and IPv6. Troubleshoot and document any issues. Okay. Implement the solutions necessary to enable and verify full connectivity. Verify full end-to-end connectivity. Okay. So I think now that's okay. So you can just have one to find out. Okay. Let's say user 3 on a different network, and I want to ping let me ping IPv6 for user 3. Okay, from user 1, command prompt, ping. Okay, right click, paste, remove 64 to see whether I'll be able to get my results there. So you can see everything is okay. Just in case maybe you are wondering, or maybe you have done everything, but your marks is not 100%. It's not 100%. So what you need to do is to, see, you have been told here, note, click check results button to see your progress. Click reset activities. Okay, you can just check results here. Then assessment item. So you'll be able to see that all the activities that you have done, can see the check in green, indicating everything is okay. But sometimes if you're wondering how comes you are through, but some the marks is not 100%, maybe it's 90 or 80, you'll find that anything that you have not done right will be in X red. Let's just do that one. You close here. You can just close this one here, down here, and remove. I just go to this, and I remove the default gateway here. Okay, remove the default gateway. Yeah, can see it is reduced to 97. So if you go to check results here, if case you can see you're being told this activity is incomplete, please try again. So assessment items, so you want to find out which one is that. So if we just scroll here, user 3, default gateway, incorrect. Okay. So meaning you have not configured it, or maybe perhaps you have configured it but with the wrong IP address. So this is what you'll get. So make use of this check results activity button when you are doing practice. But then in the exams, these people are very clever. In the exams, you will not, they will not activate that check results. It will be inactive. So you're wondering, so you don't know whether you have done the right thing or the wrong thing. That's why you need to practice until everything is okay. So guys, that's what I had for you, unless these are a post on the chat or question on the chat that requires my attention. Let me see more labs. Where can we get them? Oh, from your portal. Everything is on your portal. You can download them in each of those modules. As you go through them, you'll find that there are those labs, PDF and the packet as one. So they are on your portal. You'll get them from your portal there. Can it be done dynamically via this in this case? Yes, it can be done, but for our case, you see this there. No, where actually the instructions is provided, just do as per that. But when you want to practice, okay, you'll be able to do DCP. So I have also DCP that will be demonstrating later. Recordings, yes, recordings will be available. They have been doing this. Oh, I think could you go back to how we need to set default gate on a switch for management? Oh yes, we had set this on a, sorry for that. Cisco was the password to access the user mode, enable, then class is the password. Oh, what did I type? Class. Sorry. What am I typing? Oh, my caps is on, sorry. So class, right. Okay, class, class. Yep. Sorry. So then on the global mode, sorry for it. Let's reply on that. Then IP default gateway. That's actually you can set. Then depending on the router or the interface that connects it. So you'll pick the IP address of that router interface and put it here. Okay. But you don't put the subnet mask. You don't put the subnet mask. So that actually will be the default gateway for that. Then can layer 2 be up if okay, can layer 2 be up? Sorry, I missed this one. Can layer 2 be up if layer 1 is down? This is a good question. Okay. Now if actually layer 1 is down, automatically layer 2 cannot be up. Okay. But if you get up down, if you get okay, we talked of up, meaning physical layer is up, data link layer is up. Okay, those are the status that we talked about. Okay, so meaning that means the cable, we can talk of cable is properly connected. Okay, then again, of course, that means the device on the other side also is active or is configured. So nothing to worry about. But if you get up, layer 1 is up, down, up, down. Okay. Layer 1 is up, layer 2 is down. So of course the first up is the cable is layer 1. So meaning the cable is okay. There's no problem with the cable. But the other one down means data link protocol is not working. Up, down, up, down. That down usually is the data link protocol is not working. So this could be as a result of the what? Maybe the misconfiguration, so causing that. Or sometimes it could be usually you can have a mismatch of the duplex, half full or full half. Okay. Or sometimes again, if at all it is the case of the switch, then the mismatch of the VLANs also can be as a result of that. So those are the possibility. Then which other status you have talked of? Up, 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 down. Let's say down, 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 down. No? Okay, that means the cable is not working. Physical layer 1 is not working. Okay, and automatically layer 2 is not working. So maybe here, perhaps maybe you have the hardware problem, the hardware issues, which has caused all this. Okay, or maybe perhaps the cable was not properly set, or you not plugged in the cable. That also could be another problem. Okay, or maybe the device on the other side is not active, meaning it is down. No, it's down, or the port is faulty. You know, those are possibilities. But it's good you have asked that question, because they're the common questions that normally you can get in the certification exams. Huh? So people are wondering, you know, because you'll be given those kind of status, or the exhibit, or you'll be told open to R1, have this command, what is the output of these interfaces? Okay, then you explain based on, of course, what has been given. Then you give the right command to set it up. So those are the things that usually they do concentrate on. Then I've talked of, you see this down, down, and this administratively down, down. Okay. Yep. So if you get administratively down, it means, remember what you have said, the interface is in shutdown mode by default. So you have done your configurations, but you did not enable the interface to be up with the no shutdown command. Okay. That way, if you get that status administratively down, meaning is either you have shut it down or you forgot to enable it, okay, to be up, and that's why it is in that status. So those are the possibilities of having, you know, such kind of status are there. So please take note of that as well. So guys, that's marked the end of today's session. I want to believe it was a bit interactive. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I think we can now stop there. Let's meet tomorrow at the session. Is it possible to telnet a switch remotely configured with an IP address of from a, oh, it has disappeared. It's another question which has just been posted here. Sorry, it has disappeared. I'll have to go to open the chat platform. The question is it possible to telnet a switch remotely configured with an IP address from a PC on a different network as the switch? On a different network. Now, you see, so long as a default gateway has been set, yes, you'll be able to telnet. You'll be able to telnet that. Remember, we have set the default gateway here. But I know, did we set the line between? Yeah, I think we did. We did. So what was the? Did we set? So we just need to telnet the VLAN of this. What was the VLAN for this ASW2? The IP address for that, it was yeah, it is here, 15. It is here, 15. Telnet. Oh, let me see. Unless other things were not set. Yeah, we can see it's possible, but they're not on the same network. Huh? What was the line password? It was Cisco. So you can see you are on S2, AS2, switch 2. From where? From PC1 connected to switch 1. Yes, I'm able to do so. Why? Because of that default gateway that you had set. If you remove that default gateway, you'll not be able to you'll not be able to access it remotely because you have not specified, okay, the device. You see, RTA, default gateway, links, all those users, 03, 04, okay? And a request being sent to that user 04 will go through RTA. And because you had linked it with the interface RTA G01, then it can easily locate it where that device is, and you're able to access it, okay? So it's possible. And that's why I've done it practically for you to be able to understand that. When are we expected to be through with the whole intro to networking whole module? Now, by the I know within this week I'll be able to be through with the first module. Within this week, okay. Within this week, latest Thursday, Friday, we should be through with the module. I mean CCNA 1. Then we start CCNA 2. Okay, wase portal gani ndio hii lab iko ya? Yeah, there's a PDF. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a PDF lab. There's a PDF lab given. Then the other side, is a PT lab. So all of them are provided. That is Philemon Kibeta. The labs are there. All of them are provided. The PDF one and the other one for the packet tracer, which you can download. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm not logged in. Unless you want to share your screen, if at all the challenge you are facing, you can share your screen. Akibet, then I'll be able to guide you on the same. And stop sharing this. Is there certificates? Now you'll get upon completing of CCNA 1, you'll get a certificate. Okay, you'll get a certificate upon completing CCNA 1. CCNA 2, you'll get a certificate. CCNA 3, you'll get a certificate. So each level you'll get a certificate. But now, after receiving your discount voucher, immediately for CCNA 3, you can now do a certification which combines everything that you have covered, CCNA 1 to CCNA 3. Okay? The overall one. If you want to do it, so I'll encourage you, if you get a certification, I mean a discount voucher, please make use of it. Make use of it. Yeah, Kibet, I can see your hand is up. Sorry for that. Can I make you present? This Kirui. Kirui, this Kirui. Kirui, you have a question? Amos Kirui. Please unmute. I don't know whether you are talking.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Will you share for us that presentation slide in order that we use for reference?
Okay. I know. Yeah, we leave. I'll link up with Kevin if that's possible to see how you'll get them maybe later.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. See you tomorrow. I have done CCNA 1 to completion. Can you? Okay. Another question has just been posted here. This is by who? Sandra. Ruben. Okay, there are two questions. One from Ruben. Ruben, I have done CCNA 1 to completion. Can you unlock for me CCNA 2 from Intercard? So are you through with CCNA 1? That's what you're saying, Ruben? The current CCNA 1 we are going through? Okay. Okay, that's fine. So just stay put. Just stay put. How fast? Okay. So just stay put. I know that those perhaps who have done this one before and those who are still doing it for the first time, or those who did it while in universities, and that's why they're a bit faster. So stay put. I'll be able to do that one in the due course when we start that level. So don't worry. Then so there is an exam after every module, CCNA 1, CCNA 2, and CCNA 3. Yeah, you see, for you to be marked complete in CCNA 1, Sandra, you must complete, those checkpoint exams. I don't know, that might require me again to reshare my screen so that you can practically see what I'm talking about, Sandra. Yeah, I think it's important to understand how you can navigate and access all this. Because remember, during the orientation, what Kevin and the team talked about, because that's the only way actually they'll be able to understand that you are doing something. Sorry, I have not shared my screen. Oops. Just a minute. Allow to share. Okay. Let me, I don't know whether it's up. Are you able to see it now? Oh yeah, is it up? Oh, thank you. So module 1, you can see here, this is now for everyone, not Sandra only. It's for everyone. You can see module 1, module 2, module 3, checkpoint exams is supposed to cover. If you check on your portal, you have this checkpoint exam, testing what you have covered in module 1, 2, and 3. That is it. Then you move to module 4, 5, 6, 7, checkpoint exams, covering 4, 5, 6, 7. You move to 8, module 8, 9, 10, checkpoint exams. Okay. 11, 12, 13, checkpoint exams. Or what I calling chapters exams. 14, 15, checkpoint exams. 16, 17, checkpoint exams. Okay. Then when you're through with those checkpoint exams, there'll be this one. Final exams. Meaning those checkpoint exams are very, very important, guys, because what you are covering in those checkpoint exams are the same thing that you'll get within the final exam. So meaning they have picked questions that you have done in those checkpoint exams randomly to compile a final exam. But before you take the final exam, this is what I'm calling end of course survey. As you can see, the prerequisite is the end of course survey, meaning you cannot do the final exam if you have not taken the end of course survey. It's just a survey you are giving. How was the course? How was, and such kind of things. That satisfy very dissatisfied, and such. So just give your honest opinion based on that. Then when you are through, then go back to final exam. It will be unlocked. The moment you are through the end of course survey, the final exam will be unlocked for you automatically. Okay, then you take that final exam. Then from my end, I'll be able to see that you have done the final exams. Then I'll mark you complete. The moment you have been marked complete, automatically you'll get an alert that you have a certificate that you can download. Okay, that is, you'll get an alert in your email that your certificate is ready for download, and you'll be given a link to download it. Okay. Alternatively, if not, you will at the far end, far right corner, you will click on your name. Then you scroll down, you'll get badges and certificate. So you click on that, click on this, it'll take you to the certificate page where actually you'll be able to download it. That okay, guys? Yes. So same to CCNA 2 and 3. Okay, for you to be able to get these certificates in each module, or in each course, CCNA 1 certificate, CCNA 2 certificate, CCNA 3 certificate. That's the same procedure we'll be using. Sorry guys, I need to join another meeting online as we speak. Some people are waiting for me. So let's meet tomorrow with more sessions. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See you. Bye.